drop the big ultis, drop the big vacuums. We're going to see maybe a Requiem or two out there. Can't wait to see it. And I liked what the panel was talking about, too, of Lizard recognizing this Xtreme team. They're so good. You've got so many like storied players across the board that have proven themselves time and again. But already, a little bit of a battle. Ursa facing off against the trees. PYW will try and chase him down, but that just means that they force him out of the side. Now, it's interesting that the Ursa's already down bottom. Are they thinking about lane switching?
I think maybe they are looking to do some type of weird stuff coming out, because maybe they're expecting Xtreme to do some strange stuff, right?
You know what else it could be is what I think Lizard was talking about, of like either the Lifestealer or the Jug maybe wanting to see if they can get them to swap lanes, because that can be an annoying lane for a Darkseer.
No, absolutely. They have this double heal, right? The sustain that's coming from Lifestealer and then the sustain from Tree versus double melee as well too, potentially, the Darkseer Tiny. So that's the lane I'm going to be looking at. It always is the lane. When there's a Darkseer, it's always, oh god, how is this lane going to go? Is he going to get almost anything out of it? We shall see.
It could be a bit of a rough one, but we'll watch. And of course, the other thing that Fogged is your favorite element of Dota is the lane pulls that they could just do.
Yes.
If the lane's hard, just don't do it. Just don't do that laning stuff.
Yep, we have TK. He's got Windlay, so he can do potential some of these pulls versus the tree. And yeah, we'll see. Right now, nothing too crazy coming. It's going to be a really fun mid matchup, though. Paparazzi on his signature, the 1v1 champ Shadow Fiend playing versus White Album on that Lesh.
It's good to sort of have him back again, you know?
Yeah.
The Paparazzi, for those of you that don't know, you know, was just one of those players. Is Red Panda actually going to get gone on a little bit up top? But first rose to prominence playing on that old IGV squad and won the 1v1 championship as Red Panda. Is he going to die the second round of Scatterblast here?
It's kind of long, cool. In five more seconds, he should be okay under tower. And he has Fairy Fire, but...
God, that was scary. Actually has to pop the Fairy Fire, and diving so far, PYW draws a creep wave over.
He gets the courier, too, that was bringing in the Tango, so they're actually...
Dude, does he get another one? Oh, Ursa, you got a micro more than that, buddy. You just saw the other one die.
Oh, all right, well, they're going to have some pretty limited regen up here. They actually have 0 Tangos on the Phoenix and the 3 on Ulu, so let's see if they're going to be able to even put the harassment on, though, on the side of XG. As yeah, we do see already, look at... You mentioned it. Take a look. It's starting.
TK, he's got a double wave now, and then they're pulling another one on Tree, so they're trying to keep one alive, and now he doesn't pull the second wave on TK. Dude, there are some shenanigans happening right now. Look at it.
It's going to meet. DY, he's doing it.
He's like, no, get away. Get him away from me.
He's body,
Dude, he's
trying to body block
blocking his own creeps. This is insanity. All right, and now he's got both range.
Oh, man. Great play from DY. They do keep at least, you know, of course, all those melees, but really good adaptation to the shenanigans that we do see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. We knew it was going to happen. It's one of these lanes that Darkseer, he just never wants to really play in face-to-face.
Yeah. So Shengxi playing on that Darkseer does manage to get the wave pulled over eventually. I don't know what's going to happen here. We'll see what the numbers say after everything's laid out.
Let's see if he gets any last hits, because he is laning up against a tree in that weird spot. So you have a pretty horrible disadvantage on that Darkseer.
That's true. He's just trying to punch this tree, and the tree's like, dude, I don't care about this.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just going to leech seed you, hit you, get the CS. Oh, there you go. You got one.
Nice. Well, at least he's not dying.
No.
And that's something to be talking about. But a lot of shenanigans bottom. Mid, as we mentioned, very, very even so far. Paparazzi facing off against White Album. You can see 7-5 versus 8-3. Pretty normal. But across the board, Xtreme coming out a little bit ahead in these lanes.
Yeah. One of the first rays actually misses from Paparazzi there onto White Album. Could have maybe actually gotten something out of it. But yeah, this is the lane I'm going to be mostly staring at. I'll try to glance toward those other ones, but this is just too exciting. It's Paparazzi on SF, so.
Yeah. You'll report in. You're a sideline reporter.
I'll report in, yeah.
I guess mid-lane reporter, not sideline reporter.
It's true. Looking at top, though, JT, you see how well he's doing in comparison to that Darkseer. That's going to be the big differential, how much the gold gap will be between these two offlaners.
Yeah, and particularly if PYW can get off to a hot start. If we've seen a couple of these games where Snapfires can get a quick level 6, sometimes even before that 10-minute mark, it can completely change the rest of the dynamic of the match.
Absolutely, and we did mention in the beginning, it's this game will eventually come down to some massive team fights versus team fights. This is not an easy game for Red Panda. He's got Rage to deal with, and he's also got the Snapfire. So this egg, essentially in most team fights, will probably die from that little Shredder or just from a Lifestealer focusing onto it. So. In that front, I gave XG a pretty good advantage in the teamfight department, because then it's all reliant on Darkseer.
Right. Well, and this is what the panel was sort of talking about. This Xtreme team, very strong in their lanes. They're ahead across all three of them, but it's that team fight later and sort of the later side of the draft that they were mentioning is going to be the stronger point for Aster.Aries when they get together.
Yeah, it's always going to be the case, right? With Darkseer, king of team fight. We've always said it. If he does get off to that good start, maybe they can. But yeah, I'm still just Phoenix to concerned. White Album.
Couple more punches. DY, my boy, coming in for a few more hits. He needs 2 to get it, and the creep wave in position. The little pony's too fast. But I mean, having to run back to lane, back to base, kind of sucks.
It's brutal. Look at the last hits already. Double checking runes. They're having a phenomenal start here on XG. It's kind of reminiscent of what we saw from LGD yesterday. Double checking the runes constantly, having this like stable single hero that can stay in the lane.
I want to know where DOI took that creep wave from. Did he pull it hopefully from bottom? I don't think so. But it looked like he was again doing some lane pulls. All right, back behind the tower. That's fine.
He was like standing behind tower when they went for the dive, and then just held the wave for a few seconds so they could get a couple extra hits on tower. It looked like. And
I think that also meant the whole creep wave died to the tower instead of White Album gaining XP. So a whole extra level ahead.
That is brutal.
Yeah, dude. These lanes, it's a problem. It's hard to deal with. All of the pressure that's coming out, even getting double there. Scatter Blast is JT bullying it back this Ursa.
Yeah, he has to go for Ring of Health in this lane. It's just so much spam between the two of them. The rush Arcane Boots from JT. So not only does he have the movement speed to be able to distance himself from these two constantly, he's pumping that Snapfire with mana all the time.
Ooh.
Jump forward from PYW.
PYW is crazy. This guy is going to die.
Shockwave.
The chase is there. They do get first blood finally. Red Panda goes down, but it comes at the cost of PYW.
Pretty value. That is going to be a pretty massive Magnus rushing the mech. That is going to be very problematic, actually. You'll probably see the same thing coming out from the Darkseer, and he might actually get it at a similar time, so maybe not that problematic, actually.
Yeah, they'll just see what ends up going. Taking that one ring of protection along the way, too, to help him in the laning stage, and just keeps cutting waves. So things evening out down there as TK and DY move around and start messing with mid a bit more.
Yeah, they have to start helping the Lesh. Otherwise, it's going to get pretty ugly pretty fast. Paparazzi?
Good toss away, and that's a rune up top. Haste for the Lesh.
Still like that. Advantage is there. You see Paparazzi's got nearly full level advantage over him, and massive net worth advantage, too.
I mean, I guess that's just how these SF lanes go. Good force of JT back to base, though. So things looking a little bit better in the side lanes, even though White Album is definitely struggling mid.
He's got this haste rune, though. This is going to help so much. Like, there's pretty much like no way now he dies unless he makes an overextensive play and goes for some type of dive. He's going to always be able to run away from those raises for the next minute or so.
A little laughs coming from the old Magnus man.
They're kind of expecting a dive, maybe, because White Album does have the haste and it's near 6. They have DY playing mid.
Yeah, you don't need anybody down bottom to help Lifestealer at all.
There you go, Darkseer. He is top net worth first team now, after all said and done, after all these swaps and moves.
Yeah. Makes the move over here, has himself underneath a ward, but can farm this medium camp while simultaneously getting the wave. Likewise, though, you can see the Lifestealers doing the same thing on that hard camp.
Exactly.
So farm fest for both of these two.
Looks like they're starting to get some stacks. Red Panda getting some stacks ready for Ulu.
Oh, nice. Those would be good to build back into. And he is going in most likely for that Battle Fury, having already got the Ring of Health done. I guess he could go like Vanguard or something. That sounds terrible, though. It's going to be a Battle Fury.
He definitely, I mean, I would imagine he does just because of that, but yeah, we'll see if he does switch it up a little bit. Also, they're probably going to have to move the Lesh to take these stacks instead of the Ursa, because otherwise PYW and Magnus are just going to take it.
I mean, they're already there. I have to be careful, but also back towards mid, they find themselves a tasty Shadow Fiend. Everybody TP's into Paparazzi. Oh, the tree armor, it keeps him alive. The wall comes out too late. Now they just have to TP out of here. Wait, White Album still wants to go in and get aggro?
Cookie.
I mean, maybe they throw an Ion Shell onto him too, so that's a little bit of damage. Oh, they didn't get it off in time. So yeah, he has to back away. 4 heroes mid to save that SF.
They were so ready. They were ready for that play a minute ago, right?
Yeah.
DY was chilling there, just kind of waiting, and you see that heal. The Leech Seed comes in, the armor comes in, even the Lifestealer Infest comes in to try to save too. Every little thing coming in, just, covering Paparazzi. They know how good of a game he's having over the Lesh right now.
Dude, it's nuts. Like, he was so close to going down, but in the end, it just didn't end up happening. And, well, not the end of the world, I guess. I mean, it's pretty rough.
It's pretty brutal.
It's pretty rough.
Heavy committed rotation, and the Lesh still not able to recover with a haste rune too. Does get away, of course, but that's a costly one.
Yeah, and they have to walk back out to lanes now also.
Yep.
So, Blue tries to get out of here. Oh,
okay.
PYW, he wanted to go in. He's ready.
JT's chill. I mean, JT's just like, I have the freest farm ever right now. The mech is done, on way to blink, way ahead of the Darkseer's timing.
Right, and that's the other thing that's scary. You play together with this Lifestealer. Yeah. I mean, a blink RP and then an Infest Bomb to boot. It's going to be tough for them to come online and deal with this pressure.
This early game is going to definitely be problematic because with the Lesh having a rough start, Darkseer being a little bit slowed down, and Phoenix, who's like your kind of big team fight besides that, having these natural counters in the game, the early fights now are going to be really hard to take around those towers versus that early mech. So when Xtreme does want to group up and go for a tower push, let's see how Aries does respond.
I mean, this is really just Xtreme coming in. They were one of the teams that people had a lot of questions about. It seems like they were really prepping a lot, along with those couple of changes, to try and, you know, redeem themselves after last chance qualifiers at TI, and they are already looking very good.
Ooh, he baits it.
That was
good.
RP.
Now they can maybe even commit for a kill here.
Yeah, he has to be careful. 60 seconds without any enrage up, and JT, he's moving right in, looking for him. Dude, JT, he's flirting with greatness here.
He knows he's unkillable with this mech. He can play super aggressive. White Album stepping up a bit far from Ruin.
And I have to get a little coverage there from the Tiny to make sure he doesn't get into trouble.
Look at the race to the Ruin.
Get him.
Gets the stun.
And will take away the invis. Does mean that they get the kill onto the Tiny, but no bottle refill. He'll take that, though.
They can. I think they can actually shove mid right now. They have the Siege Wave coming in. It's going to be really difficult unless they bring... they just have to bring numbers on Aries if they want to defend this tower, so it might actually just go down to this push.
Yeah, Snapfire ulti up. That's
He's level 6.
Really scary timing. And again, because you've got this Battle Fury Ursa that they're queuing into, you got to imagine that, like, it's hard for them to fight and bring numbers on the side of Aries.
They do get to at least slow it down there with the Glyph. Does seem like XG is a little bit respectful here of the rotations, and yeah, they're bringing the numbers. So 4 heroes have to be brought to secure this tower. The Siege is still alive.
They go for it.
The cookie hits.
There it is, immediately out. White Album in trouble. Where's the mech? Nowhere to be found, but they get the heal from the Sunray. White Album still dropping very low. TK almost dead, does die. And they keep that Siege creep alive that entire time.
My God.
Tower's fallen.
That was beautiful play from PYW. You mentioned it, right? That early level 6. I mean, now it's not as early, but still, this Lesh having that hard start, he is so squishy.
Yeah, that was...
There is a significant amount of burst damage that we do have to talk about too, right? XG, they all, like 3 or 4 of their heroes do have just a hard, like 300 damage nuke, and versus a Lesh who has a rough start, yeah, 1000 HP. Gonna be very easy to get brought down. So now onto the next tower. They're gonna just make their way up top. Paparazzi is gonna stop for some jungle first, but so far it's looking pretty perfect from SG. Ghost
5-1.
And Ghost is just having the time of his life bottom. He's just free to TP, and he's holding this tower almost at full HP.
Yeah, just finished the armlet. They threw down the wall on top of him and was trying to get a little bit of action going earlier, but wasn't able to do anything, obviously. It's just so difficult to make a kill happen on that Lifestealer unless you have the Ursa there.
Yeah.
And it's just not in the cards right now.
It kind of does feel like the Battle Fury might be playing into XG's hands, right? Because now the early game is going to be so hard, and now that the Lesh had a bit of a hard time, the Darkseer always has a hard time early game. The Ursa's might be the one who you want to be like, okay, rally around me, I'm going to bring you guys back in the game, but the Ursa's like, wait, no, I just need time. I need to farm Battle Fury, so it's going to be tough work for the supports on Aries.
They need that perfect fight, and you can see maxing out that vacuum after taking the points in Ion Shell. Nothing really in that surge. Still not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, but they spot Ghost. He is going to head on out of there, or does he stick around? They might decide to defend this, to be honest.
They've got all TPs available.
I mean,
yep, they're coming.
Moving on in. 3 points right now in the Edict from White Album, and with DY nearby having Overgrowth ready, this could be death. Oh, Ulu's there too. He's going to run in first towards Ghost. The Surge is out, finds him, starts beating away. They drop the egg down, the Overgrowth comes after, but they kill him. This is a huge win, and JT TP's into this. Maybe a chance with the vacuum pullback and the fight not going at all the way the XG wanted, but they might be able to get the second round. And yeah, indeed, Ulu there, but the mech not enough to keep him alive. Paparazzi made the move on in with TK nearby. A couple more punches from these illusions. And it looks like TK's going to go down, but White Album, can he play cleanup? Stun misses onto both of them. PYW jumps back in, the raise, a couple more hits. White Album almost going to die, but barely staying alive.
He's
able
alive.
to dodge from the hits. He dies to the Death Requiem. But with 3 dead, JT, I mean, they're TPing back in the Lifestealer now. This fight's been going on so long. I think they just get out. Wait,
got
JT,
Blink.
jump, Blink, Infest, able to find Red Panda, runs away, and the chase down for the kill. The bird will die. I think that they can get out on Darkseer, well, although DY is there now too, tries to TP out, and he will be able to escape.
Or a minute and a half long fight, it feels like. The dive, I can't believe they even get the Life Sealer at the go of it, but the cleanup, Xtreme does come in and get significant damage. And the tower, it lives, it's gonna get living armored. It feels like maybe they need to go down bottom again with the Lesh, but White Album actually TP's mid, so tower's gonna get full healed.
And you can see this replay here, how close it came to him not being able to get out of there. Just the burn from double Ion Shell in the sun.
He didn't get the rage off. I guess the avalanche, he just got clipped by it. He didn't expect it to come in from that angle, but he did see him coming in, so
yeah.
Ghost a little bit slow on the fingers, but his team does make up for it afterwards.
And even with the mech, the sort of stacking damage from the raises was a bit too much.
I think it was even the Greaves finished up right at the end there too, so I think that's actually what made it, like the Lesh dropping so low and Paparazzi hitting him. He would have killed him if the Greaves weren't there at that moment, so.
Shang-Chi, an early pickup that really saved the day for him. The combination of those two together was huge.
Yeah. JT's like, nice. Last man standing. Thanks for the XP, boys.
And Red Panda does look to get out of there. With Battle Fury done, I mean, the heal on this tower is not happening that quickly.
No,
they could maybe come down and finish it off.
Yeah, White Album did make the move down quick.
Oh, get
nice
on over here. DY trying to escape, but to no avail as the Lesh.
They're coming, though. The tower's not being hit. He pulled them off the tower for maybe long enough for...
Is this really going to work?
I think it did. I think he actually saved the tower with that.
Holy moly. And jumps in, finds one. That's not a great target to get as the wall down. A little bit off the mark. Can he vacuum back into it? Surge, Chase, TK wants a target. They have Supernova back up again if they want to use it.
They bring in numbers. They've got 5 down here.
Avalanche, toss, Paparazzi behind the trees. Oh, but the Avalanche, it hits onto all of them. And the Supernova down, vacuum, back, stun onto both. They're all going to die. Aries just wiped the floor with them.
King of team fight Darkseer. That's why he's maxing it. They all focus trying to hit the egg. Gives him perfect opportunity. Couldn't ask for a better one there.
Right. This is not the last couple games that we watched, by the way. This is 10 to 10, 16 minutes in. It is a slugfest.
And the best part is, too, right? It's a Battle Fury Ursa who's showing up to every single one of these fights, too. Perfect stun there coming in. The Tiny gets the connection, and then, look at that vacuum. Can't ask for more.
Right onto that stun.
And they even used RP at the end, too, right? So they actually pulled the Lesh in, so he's actually doing damage with this Edict and everything, so. Wow.
Well, 16 and a half minutes, and I mean, I'm curious if we're going to see Magnus go to finish off the Greaves, because he's actually going back for a Force Staff right now, but really close to finishing it if he wanted to.
Guess he wants more ways to reset and get out of these team fights now, because that's a big problem there. Aries able to get that type of fight with Xtreme having the, like, what 4K gold lead at that point. It completely swings. And they're going again.
Right.
They know that ult, at least the RP's on cooldown. They get a scan successful.
And this is what the panel was talking about, the power of this draft altogether. Everything working together in concert. With this pipe coming up soon, it could be the difference maker. They won't find anybody as they head up high ground, but leaving that ward behind, it looks like it's time to head on into Roche.
Oh boy, almost all the ults up. Darkseer very limited. Okay, never mind. He has 3 Mangos. He's pretty limited on mana still anyway, but...
Yeah, this is always the danger thing. You don't want to pop Grease for this.
Toss.
They pull him back in. JT down low and dead. Up on the high ground, they still see DY and Ghost. That's huge.
TK's being a menace. Even before he had Blink Dagger, he's been getting these beautiful combination plays. Again, finds a dream target. And another one.
Oh, the toss back. They didn't know about it. There's the BKB, though. Has to run away. They drop the ulti down from Snapfire. TK trying to survive, gets sniped. Lulu picks up the Aegis, but everybody's still alive from Aries. And now DY, he's in too far. That was a dangerous Supernova that's going to end up costing him. And they also managed to kill off the Tiny. Death Requiem, or rather just Requiem one time to push everybody away. But still, Aegis on Ursa. Whew.
Tossback plays constantly. A little bit of an over-aggressive egg, but at the end of the day, it kind of just zones them away so they can finish it all off. So, all right. We got a game on our hands. 12-12, dead even net worth. This is the most exciting thing I think we've had for the last couple of days, especially.
Yeah.
Because most of these games have been a little bit slower, but even with the Battle Fury Aries, we're having constant aggression. So this is great.
And look at that right now. Dota Plus very much favoring Aries. I guess the power of this early momentum, and of course that team fight. If you can get this BKB done for, ooh, that would be huge for them.
It's such a good game for the Ursa. Like T was mentioning on panel, that's why he kept calling for it at the end. Versus the lifestealer, the matchup versus the tree, the roots. Eventually, they're gonna be able to like itemize versus the RP too. It's a really good game for the Ursa with this start.
And the Ava toss back, PYW, he doesn't stand a chance here.
Damn, TK again, the menace.
And it's that solid vision that's been laid down beforehand, too.
Yeah.
Getting that ward on a couple of different situations that have gotten them the kills that they needed. As White Album moves in towards mid, Diabolic Edict to take down this tower. And suddenly, we're even on objectives with maybe one more into the favor of Aries off of Roche.
Feels like Xtreme is now going to be playing on the back foot, at least of not looking to make any aggressive plays, just looking to do that more farming style, which it feels like Aries is going to be able to take advantage of because they're playing super aggressive all game.
Yeah. Well, and I guess we'll watch for this here.
Ooh.
DY. Hey! How's
How
it
you
going? Finds DY here. And with White Album moving in, they're going to clean him up too. And they gotta, it's hard to play. Like, one catch from Tiny and you're just dead.
Yeah, they don't have the similar ease of being able to just go for these kills on Xtreme. They have to commit a big spell if they're going to go for something, right? It's going to be like a Magnus RP for the most part, unless he gets like a really cool skewer. But for the Tiny, TK, he's been every single one the one to set it up. 12 assists, 14 kills for them.
12? Wait, what? Oh, okay, sorry.
Assists, yeah.
I thought that you were saying that Tiny had 12 assists, 14 kills. I was
No.
I don't think that's right.
He's part of almost everything.
Yeah, he is. He's having a heck of a game. Man.
Oh.
JT? TP?
Ooh, that was scary.
He's out. So you're saying now that at this point, if you're Xtreme, you need to kind of dodge away from the fights. Yeah. What is the sort of the timing that they're going to be waiting for, looking for, to hope to turn things around? Because I'm not. It feels like it has to be at least one more item for them.
They do just have the nullifier now for Lifestealer, so it's a big commitment of gold. Maybe with that, he's going to feel like he can actually go for the fight.
Okay.
Because getting these dispels to be able to protect, to be able to catch the lash, dispel this Ion Cell / Surge, maybe they could look to fight back, but yeah, it's not easy when they're just getting ran at by this Ursa with Aegis.
It is super interesting to see a nullifier this early on, but it's going to be gone for a while since that courier's dead for another minute and a half.
Who did end up killing that one?
I'm not sure.
It was TK. Oh, I guess he did get it earlier. Oh.
He's just doing everything, man.
He really is. That actually.
Speaking of which, dude, he blinked on top of him. They can't quite get him there, but he knew right where he was.
And that really is so painful to lose that. You're committing, you're spending all your gold as this Lifestealer. It's 4,000 commitment.
Dude, precast Yules catches JT, and then the root, the overwhelm. White Album down low, tries to get him away. Do they have a surge? Anything to escape? No, but Ghost, he's gone in far. Can Ulu chase him down?
Gives
the
him
surge is there. DY, he's in trouble. Paparazzi and PYW can't get away from him. They chase for any more. Abba, toss onto 3. Supernova ready, up on the high ground. They turn now onto PYW, tries to kill it off. Can they bring it down? He gets the kill. Ulu has to run to get out of here. So a little bit of a strange fight from Aster.Aries.
Committing pretty far with the lash. Gets got on from Lifestealer, just gets full to zeroed from him. That's pre-nullifier too, before he had it from the courier, which is still dead for 30 seconds. So yeah, you still see Xtreme. They can fight back, especially if those commitments do have, if the lash is out of position.
You know what this reminds me of? You know those like inflatable men that like flap around all over the place?
Yep.
This looks like 2 of them together that are next to each other, just like smacking into them over and over again. It's just an absolute brawl.
It's exactly what we could ask for. I thought the game might be a little bit more slow-paced to it, him going Battle Fury and having just these big team fight cooldowns constantly, but nope, it's not the case whatsoever. It's just battle time. But the big thing for Aries is they're still the ones constantly being the aggressors. These wards, like you were mentioning earlier, they are not really getting dewarded. They have great vision coverage for most of this game, so they're able to read and kind of just play around what Xtreme's doing.
Blink on in, drops down the ward, and they're going to take this vision away at the moment. As PYW getting close to the Yule Scepter.
Really interesting build from PYW this game. He's got a hood.
Yeah. I guess if you look at the damage, there is so much magic damage on Aries.
I thought he would, when I saw him get the hood, I thought he'd go for the pipe, right? Because then it actually benefits everybody else besides just you, but no, going for Yule's next, so.
And been doing a good job of making sure he stays on target for that Supernova.
Yes. Always going to be the one to watch. There's a lot of stun to cover it, though. The Avalanche plus that Lash will make it a bit problematic.
Also, we'll be getting to level 2 ulti pretty soon here on the Phoenix. And that helps him a little bit in that regard.
Ursa's continues to get pretty large. Lifestealer finally gets his nullifier delivered, and we'll be going for AC as well.
Okay. And then I'm curious if we see sort of like that second game from our first series, if the Shadow Fiend just goes for like the mass right-clicks build, already going into the data lists.
I think absolutely. He's going to be the one who kind of has to deal with the Ursa because the Lifestealer has that, the counter matchup.
Yeah.
The Ursa versus him, of course.
Also, having the Hurricane Pike already done for Paparazzi is a nice little win against that hero that just wants to jump on top of him.
Yeah.
So now, if they take this rune, it's going to be spotted underneath a ward, and they scan. They immediately know where they are. Look, they're calling exactly what's going to happen here. Oh wait, no, that's Lifestealer. Never mind. He's saying where he wants to go.
PYW still, while they're running around together, he's still looking to farm. They're actually giving him this farm, which, as we mentioned, the Yules, it does have massive value versus this Ursa too. Okay, let's see.
Paparazzi's invis. They don't know about him. Spot him.
Oh man.
They try to go. Red Panda right on top of White Album. Do they walk into it? They don't have any wards in the area, and Paparazzi still sitting with this invis rune. This could be the difference maker, but you see Aries recognize something weird's going on. They all back away.
Yeah, they definitely knew that there's tons of vision in that area, so we'll be able to reset away. Nice try with the... I think they're trying to like Sunray cancel the Blink Dagger from the Magnus, so he can't make it go, but unable to make anything happen of it.
So again, another instance of teams going in for a fight and not working out, and then retreating, setting up for the next engagement. 30 seconds until Roche.
That's probably why they backed away, honestly. They're probably like, if we lose a fight here, we're going to lose Roche, and our lineup is quite dependent on getting Roche and not allowing Xtreme, because if Xtreme gets a Roche in this game, it's going to cause huge problems for Aries draft.
So you were talking earlier about this dynamic of Lifestealer versus Ursa and him not really being able to do much. So you think it really is going to be incumbent on just like that SF to be the one to deal with the Ursa?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Red Panda, he actually breaks it.
Oh, as the dive to get away.
Great positioning, right there in between the 3 trees.
I was going to say, the thing that's nice about it is that even though it's sort of going to have to be the SF doing it, Lifestealer's still very farmed.
Yes. No, absolutely.
Oh, looks for more. RP pulls back one. Is that good enough? No,
Oh!
no! The vacuum! The connection! But Paparazzi, he turns! He catches onto one. Now Ulu tries to run him down, but able to Hurricane Pike away. So giant ulti's used, 1 for 1.
What? How? How did they all get out? Okay, PYW.
Yeah, they get at least another one.
Holy.
There wasn't that follow-up stun that happened because the Avalanche had already been used.
Was that a 4 or 5 man vacuum? I mean,
Yeah.
it hit like absolutely everybody. Couldn't have asked for better there from Aries.
Yeah, that's the part of the nice thing about being able to hit that level 15 right then too, the extra AoE on the talent.
And I think he got blink right before the fight too, so his positioning, it makes it easy for him to just blink and get that full vacuum combo. But still, only 2 died.
Pull back onto 1. The
Ulu.
nullifier. You're not going anywhere, buddy.
Oh,
That is
man.
a good pickup. And the DD, Paparazzi kills him off. Now, they are a bit unlucky on Xtreme. 1:40
Long
until
spot.
Roche.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, this could have actually been almost a game, like kind of like a game decider for the next like 10 minutes if that Roche does spawn, but oof, playing a little too over-aggressive there. And Ghost, he's very scary still. We are mentioning the counter matchup and all that, but holy hell, he's going to hit hard.
Oh, it's going to be really tough. And, I mean, you have to be able to enrage, right? Like,
Yes.
If you don't get the enrage off, Lifestealer still will eat him up before he gets a chance, particularly with this Empower on him.
They did end up not going for the Yule Scepters, though, on PYW, so the Enrage will not get, like, he won't have to, like, Enrage BKB so he doesn't get Yules yet, but eventually those Yules will come and make the Ursa's game a lot more difficult. But you can see the game of the game is really, if they can kite out the Enrage, you see that's kind of what they're going for, too. 4 steps, they have 3 of them. It's kind of the specialty for China, as we've seen.
Something could be very annoying to deal with. But of course, the big answer to all of that is if you can find a big vacuum combo with a Leshrac stun, with an Avalanche on top of it, if any of those things hit together in concert, it's just going to be devastating.
Absolutely. And sorry, they had 4 steps. I forgot the Shadow Fiend's Hurricane Pike, so.
Yeah, it's pretty...
a lot of kiting.
That's annoying as heck.
Yeah, especially when the Ursa's going to maybe have to rely on Surge, and if he gets nullified, right, he's not going to have it, so could see a lot of just push and pull in the fights.
Watch out now. DY moves on in. He's the one not quite scouted there. They get vision down, which spots Red Panda. Ghost moving forward. He starts opening up on these creeps, and now Aries, do they want to jump? Doesn't look like it.
Xtreme has a great angle for Roche, which is about to spawn. Aries is going for the high ground flank.
And they're going to get some... I mean, they're playing around both of them around their vision.
Yeah. Both just wanting to play high grounds because both lineups are just devastating from high ground advantage.
This is always so funny when it's like, all right, Dire on Radiant, Radiant on Dire. It's fine. Just trade for a second. We'll catch the creep wave. And yeah, then we'll hang out for a bit.
Ghost keeping that ward alive too, the one in mid.
I think this has got to be one of the most common positions in Dota nowadays. Yeah. Oh no, don't get that courier killed.
It used to be, oh my, yeah, that is that's a hefty one.
Don't do it. You don't want to see it. Yeah, he's taking the long way around.
He's all right. Radiant smoked again.
Ready.
They have far reach now. JT, he has lens and headband to go for catch.
Panda getting vision with Snapfire ulti. It's not good enough though. Oh, TK, he gets catch. The toss back mid-skewer. The vacuum the wall back onto 2. The stun to interrupt. They tear him down. A couple more dead with Mag out of there. Ulu is free to go ham. He wants to chase him down, catch a couple now. Ghost turned onto. He's going to get punched. He's going to get pummeled, but will it be enough damage? Yes. Ghost is dead. Paparazzi's left alone. PYW, he's fallen. Aries just absolutely unloaded on XG.
Paparazzi, is he going to be able to actually get away?
Yeah, it looks like he's getting out of there. Paparazzi tries to run. Yes, Shadow Blade back up in a second, but no.
He's not.
They'll find him. 5 for nothing, and White Album picks up the ultra kill as Roche is up.
TK. I think the vacuums are incredibly impressive so far this game, but this Tiny's performance is unreal. Honestly, he's doing everything, right? He's jumping in, stops the Snapfire. It kind of messes with, it looked like the entire concept of how Xtreme wanted to take the fight. Gets another toss, gets a toss on the Magnus while skewering. I mean, what more can you ask for?
I've never seen that before.
Look how quick, look.
I've never seen that before, ever.
Yeah, that's just amazing. And yeah, I mean, this vacuum was also incredibly fancy, but it starts out because the Tiny gets this type of disruptive play, so huge credit to him. 21 assists, 24 kills on their team. Again, he's up part of almost everything.
And I'll say it speaks to sort of the volatile nature of this match, which is that, okay, right now we're looking at, oh, there you go, he's feeling himself. The Aries lineup, a 4K gold lead, but that easily could have turned different if the RP hits. If they're the ones that pull them in with the empowered Lifestealer, like, no lead is safe in this game.
No. It's feeling awkward for XG because they don't want to commit, right? It's like, you can see JT is hesitating so much because he doesn't want to just like blink RP 1 hero or anything like that. He wants to get more catch, while TK, he's just like, I'm ab tossing whatever I see in the fight. So.
Right, exactly, and that's the dynamic of the Magnus versus the Tiny as far as like the little commitments, but your Mag's also your big commit.
Exactly, so it is tough for them to get those initiations without just hard committing, and then it's like, uh-oh, we just committed RP and don't have anything actually for the fight. So White Album now also having Shiva's finished and Yule's. He's also massive, hits 20, more damage.
Oh man, this is exactly the Dota that I was hoping we get to see right here. This has been a heck of a fun game. And ready to run it down this bottom lane. You have the tree that's cutting waves and going to be annoying, but they've got a catapult there, if I'm not mistaken, already at the tower, and are going to be able to get some pretty good damage in. The question is, do they want to go for any more afterwards, hanging onto this Aegis for Lesh? They might even get it.
I mean, it's kind of been their story the whole time. Aster's just looking for fights. They just want to battle. So I think they're gonna swing across and look for something. They still have that ward down in the ancient area, so they do see Paparazzi. They have the sentry also.
Ooh.
So they're pinging exactly where he is right now. TK might look for a jump.
Oh, if he could find him here, this would be huge.
He's
Paparazzi, he knows right where he is. Out of vision. Wants to jump. Abba, toss back. Ulu says, thank you very much, sir.
Whoop.
Can't quite get the kill, though.
And there it is.
The RP pulls him back in. Ghost is there. Do they have the damage? Oh, yes, indeed. Oh. Ain't no lead safe in this game as Red Panda jump on in, and now 4 go back the other way.
There we go, JT. He's been waiting for that all game. Holy crap. Perfect. Gets 3. Requiem follow. Catches the Phoenix mid-dive, too.
Jeez.
We prefaced this game with the start and the anticipation of big ultis, and we're getting it delivered.
That's exactly what I was hoping to see. Okay. And I mean, again, this is a great play, right? It's like, oh, we're going to get him. It's going to be so good. And JT's like, no.
Look at this precision. Boom. And they didn't even see him. Look how far they go back to, as we mentioned. The lens, the headband. He's able to pull them so far. Finally he's able to find it. Back the other way.
Look at him, look at him.
He's
so
like, yes!
happy. Oh, that's so sick, dude. He's so happy.
I mean, all game, he's been like trying to get some type of initiation. That has to just feel absolutely amazing.
All right. 33 minutes in. High ground being hit. And Aries still have this Aegis for another minute and a half.
They just got shooken up, though, completely.
Oh, yeah.
And now, also, they get this big push going. They get their waves out. And now JT, his RP is going to be back up in about 35 seconds. And he might even have his BKB finished. So he can actually go for these initiations much easier then.
It'll be interesting to watch how it goes. Another item that's coming out in a little bit here. I mean, for a while for the Phoenix, but both of them are going sheepstick. JT gets caught. White Album picks up one, takes down the other. PYW hoping to escape, but will he manage to? No. Long-range vacuum. Just like that, game turns around, but
he got the BKB purchase right before he died. So didn't end up losing any gold, and he gets it. So it's going to be 55 seconds, though. Let's see what Aries is able to do out of that. They have the Aegis exactly for the same amount of time. It looks like that the mag is going to be respawning.
Going to be dangerous. And we'll see how far they want to push it. If they want to try and test high ground here.
I like how much, I just mentioned, back to the Hex thing that you were saying. I like how much we're seeing teams going back to picking this item up. It's one of the best, if not the best item in Dota for a reason. We saw it riddled in the last series.
Just like that. With 20 left on the clock and Glyph used, it looks like it's going to be one tier 1 or tier 3 tower taken here. I think that they finish it, but do they want to stick around for any more after? That's a pretty hard thing to do.
It's so scary, especially after JT just catches it that last time. The tower, the living armor, it's
gone. All right. Dude, you're going back in?
Oh my, I mean, right,
psycho.
Your Aegis is gone. Oh,
this guy's out of his mind.
All stuck. I mean, I think most of this game is going to be like 5 people sticking together now on both sides. Skewer range talent, level 20 hit.
Oh yeah, that too. God, that is a big range.
That is, yeah, it's absurd. It is.
That is silly.
They will go back to tier 4s.
I mean, you have to get to him, I guess, too. That's the other problem.
He can jump from so far away. It's all right, both teams being very patient.
They're thinking about going again. They want this right now. If you get a big pickoff, you know that BKB was bought. He doesn't have buyback. They're hanging around waiting for somebody to show. TK, Ulu right on top of him. PYW heads on out. Smoke breaks. Immediately gets vision. TK in trouble. Yule Scepter lift up. White Album's there. They're all grouped together. A big vacuum
RP.
here. But the RP catches onto him. Requiem Soul's out on the both. Not a chance in the world.
Oh, JT. He's like, all right, TK.
Oh.
Wow.
Dude.
All game, right? He waited like 30 minutes to be able to find his opportunities, and he finds the big ones that are worth it.
I mean, and again, the draft was good. They have more chances with Aster.Aries to set these things up. But Xtreme are very good at Dota. These guys know how to wait. The patience was there.
And it's heads-up play really from the snap too, right? Walking up in a very dangerous situation, getting the vision down, which allows JT to really do that. So vision, as we always say, ends up being one of the most important things. That word lets him see those back heroes all the way on the far right side so he can get that jump, get the RP on them. So.
Right,
Beautiful.
And you think also about like the sort of killer instinct to go for it because, you know, imagine if Aries was the ones that have that vision, maybe you have a jump in from Darkseer, vacuum wall onto 4 or 5.
Yep.
It easily could have gone either way.
I mean, both teams kind of have a similar of don't stick together. Like,
right.
Be careful how close you stand next to each other versus vacuum and RP. But XG now in these last 10 minutes started to really get their dominance here. Big items picked up too. They had Satanic right before on the SF. He's already got a whole nother item probably pretty soon.
Yeah. Shang-Chi is going to have to be the one that really makes those plays on that Darkseer.
Yeah.
The translated name, Life and Death, and that's how these team fights have gone. Very much one way or the other. No middle ground.
Feels like they just need a little bit, you know, we were talking about how they did have the pretty good control with the vacuum, Lash, and everything. Now it feels like they need an instant disable, like we mentioned, the Hexes, which now Lash does have it. So maybe that'll allow them to get the follow-up. Not if JT lands those type of RPs, though.
Right, but that's the moment where you can maybe, we saw an earlier precast of Yule Scepter. A precast on a Hex would be huge.
I'd imagine JT in most situations is going to pre-BKB, but could still, if he doesn't, then it would be, devastating. And they did, I believe, also take the gem away. So 2 gems now on Xtreme. So vision, definitely going to be limited for Aries.
TK up on the high ground. I think broke a smoke right there. UIW gives the vision, or the information that they're up there, and then we'll shoot away. 25-26, about as back and forth as you could hope.
Yeah, about as even as it gets.
And getting close to a couple of these other key item time, or rather level timings. White Album almost at 25. Darkseer will be at 20 soon, whether that's Ion Shell damage or the wall cooldown. We'll see what he decides to go for here. But they need, really, it feels like, for both of these teams, just to get the vision ahead of them.
Just so much harder now for Aries versus the BKBs that just will always come off. And just so many different ways to just control the Ursa, these Yules, these 4 steps. And we did mention the kite, too, right? So much if they don't just get the full wombo combo.
Well, you can see there a couple of neutrals picked up. The Lincoln Sphere done now on the SF, so already having the answer to that Hex if he's the one that's jumped on. But it's going to be up to JT. Of course, Shang-Chi to get these initiations. See if TK can make a play happen on that Tiny too. Get some vision down, Red Panda. Just barely scouted there.
So scary. After those last moments versus JT, now it's like TK's very hesitant to be the one to kind of go in first, because every time, now the last like 10 minutes, every time he's gone in, his team clumps just a little too much when he does.
Right, and in so many ways, if you look at what this, we saw also a Lincoln's pass over there onto JT. Yeah. That's the other thing they can do here. We've seen, like, you know, back and forth, but this next fight with the Aghanims in there, it's going to be like a 10,000 gold swing, whoever ends up winning this fight, if they can take Roche afterwards.
This fight is probably the game decider.
A little bit easier for Xtreme to take with their lineup.
How's the buybacks looking? JT, he's got his.
3 on Dyer.
Oh, he's actually just shy of 50 gold, so.
Dude, it's so scary. They're smoked up, hoping that somebody shows. That's all it takes is that first initiation.
This is everything.
Well, he's looking. Shadow Fiend steps forward with Invis, passing over the Lincolns.
Well, bottom is going to start getting knocked on. That is a lot of creeps.
There you go.
So tier 2 bottom, they might have to actually look to respond to at some point. They don't want to, though, because they can't leave the area because they'll lose Roche. A double siege on that tower.
Also, you can't afford to give up Glyph right now. You know, that's Glyph for tier 4 towers. So Roche gets hit. Red Panda still in the area with that Lincoln Sphere ready. How close are we to the Lincoln Sphere on the Darkseer? He's not going to be able to go for it, really.
No, he's going for the Hex.
Oh, TK. Do they have vision? This smoke, this could be the one. They're on the low ground. He jumps in.
Uh-oh.
Dude, get out of there. Oh, my God.
That is so scary and quite awkward. If he gets caught by Nullify there, he's just dead.
Paparazzi.
Waiting. Both teams are being so patient.
Another smoke now, this time as that tier 2 tower is going to drop. White Album shows. Do they go now? It looks like it. They're thinking about heading right into the pit. With no White Album nearby.
Oh,
the jump! High ground. Ulu finds him. The RP's ready to open. JT gets caught. Has to run away. Okay, with Enrage already down and the buyback there from the tree. PYW jumps forward. Red Panda's fine. Now Ulu finds one. 4-step gets him away. Nullifier down. Good vision, but the Avalanche onto 4, waiting for the follow-up. Do they have it? Requiem, it doesn't hit. He does go down on TK, but UIW gets the Yule Scepter to try and stay alive. They have Vacuum ready, but they don't even need it.
Buybacks on buybacks on buybacks. Paparazzi waiting with Ghost.
Yules dodges. Vacuum wall. Back onto 2 in the Hex, but the RP again, it connects. But where's the follow-up damage? They don't have it. TK tosses all the way up on top to JT. The Darkseer's away. Ulu's in trouble. Enrage tries to get away the break, but he's dead. They do have a Yule Scepter to break that TP away. They have a buyback on Ursa. Has to use it now. Lifestealer dropping low. White Album kills him. Buyback from him too. Second round follow-up. Paparazzi down low. Do they have enough damage? The Hurricane Pike from up on the high ground. He's living just barely. PYW dies to the SF Illusion. And no buyback on the Snapfire or the tree. They have to back away.
Aries is actually going with the Yeah, more buybacks. Paparazzi's able to stand his ground and turret for most of the fight, but either way, Aries, the buybacks, this is the thing that's going to allow them to get this Rosh, and now, number advantage.
Dude, crazy.
And they get an Ag's Blessing for the Ursa, which is massive versus Tree versus the RP. All right.
And like we said, suddenly the team that wins the fight gets the Aegis,
Yep.
10k gold lead. Huge amount of damage dealt by that SF in that fight, as well as White Album.
They played it patient. They just sat on the outskirts, kept waiting for a moment to be able to get the jump, and yeah, they get it. Darkseer as well as that Lash. Beautifully done. And the Darkseer, honestly, the Darkseer wall, you mentioned it toward the end there, the illusion was sitting there actually just beating on the SF and kind of like everybody for majority of the duration of the fight.
Well, and honestly, the RP was pretty good, but it was sort of there to try and interrupt. It feels like
Yeah.
that has to be the gut punch with the life stealer that actually kills them all off.
He got hexed, right? He
Yeah.
got hexed right before the RP goes off, so yeah, there was little to no follow-up onto it.
Well, just like that, the first racks looking to be claimed here by Aries. And about 10 seconds left until the Snapfire is up.
Oop.
Break.
Couple hits. JT?
Punch. Pulls him back in. Yule
Nice
Scepter.
Yules.
This ain't TI 10 anymore.
No, ain't a stun.
White Album turns. Hex is there. Ghost jumps onto him. Pulls him
Vacuum.
back in with the vacuum. Look at that illusion. Does so much. But the overgrowth keeps him alive for now. PYW jumped on and dead. No Snapfire for a while, but they did kill off the Supernova.
Oh,
Yule
Yules.
Scepter to interrupt. Didn't have BKB up in time. Bought the skewer. Pulls him back in almost all the way to the fountain, but not quite there.
Now
and
he
then
is.
pulls him in. White Album caught, killed. You're in the fountain, my man. Ulu now slowed down by that nullifier. There's
Whoops.
no save here. They miss on the skewer, but tosses him away. That's still the save that you can have. White Album, he TPs in to try and salvage this. Vacuum back onto 2. The Hex is there, and Ulu chases. Finds himself a tasty snack.
Toss back.
The Life Stealer's gonna die. Paparazzi's dead. And with that, Aries are most likely gonna take this game, barring a miracle here, as they head on back for another set of racks. XG just don't have the answer. Toss him away in the midst. Paparazzi control.
Another
The
Hex.
long-range skewer. He gets back to the fountain. They're keeping him alive. But for what? As the tier 4 towers start to get hit, Aries make it happen perfectly. Find Paparazzi, vacuum wall, back onto both. GG about to be called.
Wow.
As Aster.Aries just make a perfect game.
I mean, the perfect last pick. It feels like this Ursa did feel like the absolute best hero in this game, but gotta give so much credit to both initiators.